All right, Tracy, thank you. President Trump hosts Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the White House this afternoon. The high-stakes sit-down also comes a day after a phone call between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, more than 3 years until his country's war with Ukraine. Natalie Brand has the latest.
Thank you so much.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is making the most of his latest trip to Washington. Ahead of his sit-down this afternoon with President Trump, he met with U.S. defense contractors and the U.S. Secretary of Energy.
We are thankful for these contacts, and also we spoke about the companies who can bilaterally also help with some technically with some things.
Zelenskyy is expected to push the White House for more advanced weapons, including long-range Tomahawk missiles, which Russia says would be a major escalation. While President Trump has previously said he would consider it, he said this on Thursday after a 2.5-hour phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We need Tomahawks for the United States of America, too. We have a lot of them, but we need them. They're very accurate, they're very good, but we need them, too. So I don't know what we can do about that.
President Trump also said he and Putin agreed to meet in Hungary potentially in the coming weeks. It would be the second in-person meeting between the leaders in recent months. But after the summit in Alaska, Russia's attacks on Ukraine only escalated.
Why do you think a second meeting with Putin now will yield different results?
Well, I think Alaska actually set a stage, and that wasn't very long ago, but it set a stage.
President Zelenskyy says a barrage of drone strikes this week targeted energy and civilian infrastructure in Ukraine, terrorizing life in the country. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, meanwhile, a federal grand jury has indicted another critic of President Trump, the third in just a few weeks to face charges. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton is accused of storing and sharing classified material. Prosecutors say he disclosed more than 1,000 pages of highly sensitive White House information from his time serving in the president's first term, including some documents marked top secret. Bolton, who left after 17 months following clashes over foreign policy, denies any wrongdoing.
He's just not receptive to new facts. The intelligence briefings don't communicate as much information as they should.
A court date for his arraignment is expected soon. Bolton is now the third high-profile critic of President Trump, facing indictment in recent weeks. Former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James were also charged in Virginia. Well, today marks day 17 of the government shutdown with no resolution in sight after the Senate again failed to advance a funding bill. A Republican proposal to extend government funding fell 9 votes short, and a separate effort to fund the Pentagon also failed, halting any partial relief. Senate leaders say negotiations continue, but the chamber won't return until Monday, pushing the shutdown into next week. Meanwhile, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed that law enforcement officers, including ICE and the Secret Service, will receive a, quote, super check by October 22nd to cover lost pay and overtime. Across the country, another round of anti-Trump No Kings rallies are scheduled, encouraging citizens to speak out against the current administration.